So let's keep building this shadow. Now we're going to want to keep this nice and crisp. I just erased some of my pencil line and I wasn't really liking how things were turning out, so I'm going to add or feather in a very light amount of black using my pen or my pencil. If you're doing this in pencil, you can go back over this area using an HB or even a very light regular pencil. You're just going to make sure that you're not going too dark. You literally just want to feather this in. You want some of that white to show. Just do the edges. Here, let me show you. See how I'm doing the edges here? It's really bringing out that head. That's what I'm talking about. Do a little on the underside of your chin to kind of help that. Even feather in that shadow line that's supposed to be right here where your head protrudes out and your chin casts a shadow on your chest. Now, if you're using micron pen, you're going to want to do this using a lighter nub like a 005 or a 001. And you can just add just an additional layer just to the edge of your shadow shape. You don't have to do it everywhere, just to the edge. I'm really adding a little bit of shadow against the edge of the bridge of my nose to kind of make my nose look, or the bridge of my nose look a little more rounded. And I really want to crisp up this area where my nose is kind of peeping up. I'm going to add or crispen up just a tiny little sliver of the edge of my body here to kind of make it pop. I'm going to do the same with the edge of my arm. Make it pop. Crispen up the edge of my tail. These are called building in the finer details of your work. Feather light, friends. Literally butterfly kissing the tip of your pen or pencil along the paper. Like I said, this class could be good for either ink, it could be good for either pencil. Almost kind of want to mimic the nature of the fur on your raccoon. Your tail is floofy. You're going to have pieces of fur going everywhere to build the body of your tail. So don't get too particular about them all being like straight, rigid, up and down, diagonal, whatever lines. You kind of want to mimic the nature in which your shadow is moving. So here, your furs are going kind of all over the place. So feel free to add some wiggly lines in there. Vary your strokes. And I would even feather in more definition to these legs. These legs are, ooh. See how I'm not outlining? I'm literally shading in the shapes. This is how you get those subtle shifts from dark to light. Now, your muscle is going to wrap up and around at a slight curve at the edge of these arms. So let's imitate that muscle movement by kind of curving our line just a little bit on this edge here. Ever heard of optical illusion, where you use the movement of line to kind of trick your mind into thinking something's three-dimensional or popping out of the paper? That's kind of what we're doing here. There we go. In fact, this ear needs a little more definition. And that, my friend, is how you can do a raccoon using pencil or pen and ink. Super simple, right? 3-2-1 formula. Just building our shadows. Stay tuned for more tips and tricks by keeping an eye on my profile page. And in the meantime, I look forward to seeing you in the classroom.